Weekdays, stream First Alert Weather Plus.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is keeping you up to date with the latest information from your morning commute to your afternoon drive. We're on your side, streaming on your favorite devices. WLBT First Alert Weather Plus.
WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is committed to your safety with 6 hours of continuous team coverage.
This is a relentless storm, Dave.
We're fortunate we all made it out alive.
And our network of sky cams across the state alerting you to danger, bringing you live footage of tornadoes as they touch down in Wathau County.
Look at this, Chase. Guys, look at that.
This is ground zero almost. I mean, this is really hard to stomach, like I said.
We take our commitment to being on your side seriously, and together we're Mississippi Strong.
Weekdays, stream First Alert Weather Plus.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is keeping you up to date with the latest information from your morning commute to your afternoon drive. We're on your side, streaming on your favorite devices. WLBT First Alert Weather Plus.
All right, good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. We made it to the middle of the week. It's another warm start for us. We're already at 67 degrees, which is actually above average for this time of year, not only in the mornings, but in the afternoons too. We're usually sitting at 57, so about 10 degrees more than normal. So we're going to continue to deal with this mild weather, starting to see a little bit more sunshine in the picture for us. This afternoon, we'll top out in the mid 70s, upper 70s expected on Thursday, which is the record currently. And for some places, I wouldn't be surprised if we surpass the record, especially if we see a little bit more sunshine by tomorrow afternoon. And we're going to stay dry today. And for most of your Thursday, it's the overnight hours into Friday that we'll start to see some showers develop ahead of our next storm system. Now, this has prompted a first alert weather day for Friday. This is the first one of 2026. We are expecting within this line of thunderstorms and even ahead of the main line to be some severe weather. So right now that time frame looks like Friday afternoon into Friday night for the best chance, I would say, for severe weather. And all modes of severe weather going to be possible, with the highest likelihood being damaging winds, but a few tornadoes can't be ruled out with this system that moves in. And that slight risk now encompasses all of central Mississippi for Friday afternoon. So here's what this timeline is looking like for us. This is one of our high resolution models that has actually come into play now. Now, this is just I think this is the second run of one of our high resolution models that goes all the way until just after midnight or so on Saturday. So expect this to continue to update, and we'll get one of our other high resolution models more so into play as the day goes on today and especially tomorrow. And we're going to kind of compare those two just to see what consistency looks like in terms of timing and also in terms of your impact. So starting off Friday morning, we will see some showers develop and maybe even a few thunderstorms. It's still a little too early to say if we'll see any kind of severe weather with this. I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case. We may see some gusty winds in some of these pockets of showers in the early morning hours, but expect this to be disruptive in the terms of rain, if anything, by Friday morning. Now, the better chance to see some severe weather will arrive by the mid to late afternoon hours on Friday. So we're going to keep a close eye on these clusters of thunderstorms you see here across central Mississippi. And I will say this: if we get some breaks in the clouds through mid to late morning into about the lunch hour on Friday, that's not necessarily going to bode well in our favor, because that will just provide more fuel for these storms to tap into as the day goes on and into Friday night as well. So I would say we could see things kick off as early as about 2-3 o'clock Friday afternoon, and continuing into the evening. Actually, I'm going to go back just a little bit. It does look like we could see some of those thunderstorms carry into your Friday evening commute. So I would definitely make sure you have that free First Alert weather app downloaded. We got the QR code there if you don't already have it, and you can set up alerts on your phone for if there are any weather alerts that do arise during this event. We'll take it a little bit slower for you. This is around 7 o'clock. As you can tell, things are still ramping up on Friday evening, and this is more than likely still going to be the case even after sunset. So we could be talking about a late night or overnight event with this system. Now, this isn't even the main line. This is storms popping up ahead of the main line. Now, if any of these storms do reach severe limits, this could eat up some of the energy before the main line develops. As you can start to see that by the time we get to about midnight or so, you start to see that line congeal a little bit more. So we could be looking at some noisy conditions early Saturday morning. This is as far out as we go with this model, and we'll just continuously keep getting more updates as the day goes on. So it's important that you continue to check in with our later newscasts and also our digital shows on here later today, as this time frame will be extended out as we get closer to the end of this week. But expect this system to last through early Saturday morning, and then I would say by lunchtime we're completely done with that severe weather as of right now, and we'll just be left with maybe a few lingering showers before we clear out, and we're left with dry conditions for the remainder of the weekend and into early next week. So also wanted to go into what the tornado energy is looking like. This is about 7 o'clock on Friday morning. Now, I'll also give the caveat that this is from one of our long range models. Our short term or high resolution models don't necessarily have this parameter in the time frame that we need it just yet. We may start to see that a little bit more so later today. Again, just referencing that this is one of the long range models, I should say. But it does go to show that there is going to be some energy around by around 7 o'clock. And as I mentioned a little earlier on, we did see some showers and maybe even a few thunderstorms around this time. So something that we'll keep a close eye on to see if this trend holds. If it does so, maybe an isolated stronger end thunderstorm for your Friday morning commute. And then going into the rest of your Friday afternoon, we start to see some more of those darker grays develop. Let's go back just a little bit further here. Start to see some of those darker grays develop. Now, at least we're not seeing yellows. That's where we start to get a little bit more concerned. So still on the lower end, but it just goes to show that the energy is going to be around. This is by 3 o'clock or so when I was showing you those thunderstorms. So timing is matching up with the energy that it looks like it's going to be available by Friday afternoon. And then continuing just even after sunset, we've still got some of that energy around, and it looks to stick with us. Let's see, let's go back just a little bit further here. This is just after midnight or so. And yes, there is still some of that energy around, but when we were referencing that high resolution model, it looked like that main line of storms was developing around 3 or 4 a.m. and starting to enter the picture at that point. So as we get into the next couple of hours, we'll hopefully get some consistency to see if some of energy will be around when that main line comes in, or if it's going to be kind of all used up by that point, and we'll be more so concerned with storms Friday afternoon into Friday evening. So that's what energy is looking like with this system that moves in. So I want to show you, again, that the highest threat likelihoods is still damaging winds. The tornado threat low, but not completely zero. And we could see some hail up to about a quarter in size. Flash flooding possible in some places. places, but it's going to be very isolated. Those aren't necessarily our highest concerns with this system moving in at the end of this week. So I will say this, to put it all into perspective, it looks like there's going to be multiple rounds of showers moving in the terms of starting off as early as about 7 a.m. on Friday. That's not to say all of those rounds will include the potential for severe weather. It looks better the second half of the day. But again, we'll continue to keep a close eye on model trends and also just those high resolution models coming into play over the next couple of hours. And we'll be able to look at more consistency with that in terms of fine tuning the timeline and also the impacts going into the end of this week. So after this system moves through, the rest of your Saturday looks pretty good, and we're actually going to be talking about more seasonal conditions. We're going to see a pretty big temperature swing from what we're expecting tomorrow and going into the end of this weekend. Highs expected to be in the mid-50s, which is typically where they are for this time of year. And we're actually going to be talking about the potential for frost and freeze conditions to start your Monday of next week. So it just goes to show that this front is going to be pretty strong, especially with the air moving in behind it, definitely cooling us down going into next week. So that's pretty much the story for us. First, we're going to have the very warm conditions tomorrow. Then we've got the storms just ahead of the cold front Friday and lingering into early Saturday morning. And then we've got the cool down thereafter. So that's what this timeline is looking like for you over the next 7 to 10 days. I'm just going to look at chat here to see if there's any questions. Hello, Shika. Hello, Seth. I'm doing well this morning. Hello, Melissa. Yeah, it looks like not really any questions. Of course, we'll have this up on our social media pages if you do have any other questions throughout the rest of today. And again, we'll have more data that we'll be able to comb through and really go over with you guys going into the rest of today and especially tomorrow. So that's all I have for you today. Again, make sure to tune into our later newscasts and our other digital shows. But until then, have a great rest of your Thursday or your Wednesday.